sa kanila, 12 years. Ang haba-haba, siguro pwede pa sila matulog.
Ikot kami sa iba-ibang lugar, iba-ibang province. Sino ba sa 24 senador na yan ang ayaw? Sino ba sa 24 senador na yan ang may gusto? Pangalawa,
The question is it the right thing to do? So I invite our dear senators, and I appeal to their more noble sense of patriotism to seriously consider our resolution of both houses number 6 and start the ball rolling once and for all. They've shown it in the past with other more complicated legislative measures. Why can't they do it now? Nagkataon lang ba na merong bangayan na gaganap? At matatapos din itong bangayan na to eh. People will forget about what we say or what we did. Pero mag-ingat tayo sa pagtrato sa isa't isa because it's difficult to forget how you make us feel. And when you make us feel like we're inferiors and not co-equal, you may say that we are co-equals, but by your actions and pronouncements, parang nabebetre ang sinasabi ninyo. Mawala ng lahat, wag lang yung pakiramdam, di po ba? Eh matatalino naman po tayong lahat. At you know what? Sabi nga namin wag na tayo ulahan, magtapatan na lang po tayo. Kami, klaro, sa lower house, we want constitutional amendments, particularly the economic provisions. Sabi nyo, ganun din kayo. Ito sana patunayan nyo naman sa taong bayan. Isang tabi na natin tong ating bangayan. Diyos ko, napakababaw lang ito. Although sana, unawain nyo rin kung saan kami nanggagaling. Because we're just being sincere here. And we don't mean anything. We don't mean anything bad. And we don't want this situation to last a long time. Gusto namin magkaayos na tayo para makafocus na tayo sa aming trabaho. Thank you.
What is your backup plan po in case talagang hindi nila mapagbigyan yung or hindi nila mapanindigan yung first quarter timeline ng RBH6? I guess si Machok po. What is your backup plan?
Wala na eh.
Hindi nila mapanindigan yung first quarter.
Basta sabihin ko na sa inyo anong mangyayari. In each administration, taon po yung isang administrasyon. Everyone will agree with me in the House of Representatives and even outside na in the second half of any administration, any proposal to amend the Constitution or to update it, wala na po yan. We have seen it all throughout the different administrations. That's why we are in that sense of urgency. Siguro nga, minsan nag-iisip ako, ba't ba tayo gusto parating mabilis magtrabaho? Siguro, in comparison to our friends there, they have the luxury of time because they have 12 years. They have 6 years, kami 3 years lang. We have to do the output because the people of the Republic of the Philippines will judge us every 3 years. So kailangan may output. We have to help our people. And in this case, the economic provisions that will help our country. Wala kami. We don't have the luxury of time. We have to act fast. We have to hold meetings diligently. We have to work double time to come up with that legislation. Kasi 3 years for every term. Ang bawat member ng House of Representatives, sa kanila, 12 years. Ang haba-haba. Siguro pwede pa sila matulog. Di ba? Kami, kailangan namin matulong tao kasi husgan kami. Ano bang naipasan yung batas? You will be up for election again and the people will ask us about our output. So hindi kami pwede patulog-tulog dyan. Kailangan kami magtrabaho double time. That's why as I said, the House of Representatives always acts with a sense of urgency. Now, talking about backup plan. Ewan ko, anong backup plan na naman for 37 years, hindi matuloy-tuloy because, let's face it, ito na nga nangyayari. Everybody sees that all proposals to update the 1987 Constitution namamatay po sa Senate. Ganun po. Honest na lang tayo. Although, maski ano-ano nang sinasabi nila sa House, ganun po yung feeling na eh. Whether we transmit to the Senate Constituent Assembly, whether we transmit to the Senate Constitutional Convention, namamatay po sa Senate. Yun yung feeling eh. All proposals die there in the Senate. It gets buried there. And here comes another administration again with another proposal. Anong mangyayari? Sasabihin na naman ng may ibang wala yan. Yan lahat ng proposal nyo, mamamatayan dun sa Senado. So, right now, today, we're very happy that at least napag-usapan, napagdebatehan. In fact, this is my challenge now to all senators. Why don't you, 24, come out in the open? Sino ba yung pabor to amend the Constitution, to update the 37-year-old Constitution? Sino yung mga kontra? Para by 2025, this is my challenge to the senators. Come out in the open, wag po tayo magtago. Sabihin natin sa buong Pilipinas, sino yung mga senador pabor to amend, to update the 37-year-old Constitution, at sino yung mga kontra. And the people of the Philippines will decide whom to put in the Senate. Let's come out. Let us not hide, in veils and saying all these words na lumalabas para nag-aaway. Open card tayo sa taong bayan. Open cards tayo. Let's put our proposals transparent to the Filipino people. I strongly urge the senators, come out in the open. Sino yung mga kontra to amend the 37-year-old Constitution? Come out. State your position. Sino yung mga pabor to amend the economic provision? Come out in the open and state your position. Right there, siguro para mas klaro, mas maliwanag sa ating mga taong bayan, sino yung pabor to amend the economic provision, sino yung mga kontra.
Tapatan portion.
At
Kung ako, last 2 minutes kasi, October filing na yun, di ba? Kung ako ang coach, nakikita ko na yung play, naka full court press sila, tatawag ako timeout, mag-regroup ako. Yun ang pwede ko sabihin sa inyo.
At pangalawa, yung RH number 6, hindi ito madali na ginawa. Nagkaroon kami ng mga provincial consultation dito. Nagkaroon kami ng city consultation. Halos umiikot kami sa iba-ibang lugar, iba-ibang province. Hindi ito basta-basta ginawa dito lamang sa loob ng Kongreso, kundi sa labas. Kaya tama po yung sasabi ni aming majority. Sino ba sa 24 senador na yan ang ayaw? Sino ba sa 24 senador na yan ang may gusto? Pangalawa, masakit po as a party list member dahil yung sinasabi nila na party list lang kayo, district congressman lang kayo. Napakasakit po nun. Unang-una, yung nagsasalita nun, saan ba sila nanggaling? Di ba naging congressman din siya? Naging party list din siya? At kami lahat binoboto ng tao. Even kami po ay representante ng party list, nationwide din po ang bumoboto sa amin. Pangalawa, tama po yung sinasabi ni ma'am, ni Congresswoman. Hindi ba nung kayo'y tumatakbong senador, lumalapit kayo sa mga district congressman, lumalapit kayo sa mga party list members para humingi ng tulong na iboto kayo at ilakad sa aming mga distrito o sa mga party list members organization namin. Ngayon sasabihin ninyo, party list lang kayo, congressman lang kayo. Masakit po sa amin yon. At pangalawa, pupuntiin ko na ang sinabi ng isang senador, si Senator Joel Villanueva, my fraternity brother. Masakit po yung sinasabi nyo. Unang-una, ano ang sinasabi ninyo? Nagkakatraffic sa Forbes Park. Para saan? Dahil yung aming mga chief of staff kumukuha ng form sa People's Initiative. Hindi po totoo yun. Even my chief of staff, hindi ko inutusan na pumunta ng Forbes Park. Kaya sana tapusin na natin ito. Yan po ang hamon ng Kongreso. Sino ba sa 24 senador na yan ang pabor at hindi? At pangalawa, mag-i-eleksyon na naman. Hindi ba kayo hingi ng tulong?
Sir, just a follow-up and clarification regarding House Resolution 1562 na na-open niya, ang trato nila na-open yung mga senador. And I quote the pronouncement of Senate Minority Leader Ilang Senador that when the resolution was meant to express support for the Speaker, the term intense assault from the Senate was unacceptable. As I understand the title, there are two accusations to the Senate, or three: intense assault violating interparliamentary courtesy and interfering in the performance of their constituent functions. It could be easily ignored, but the issue is written in the title. I don't know what the House is after.
It is simply what it is. It is an expression of our sincere sentiments. I'm sorry that we feel this way, but this is how it is. We feel intensely about this. How would you feel if you were in our situation? What if we have press cons and we wear armbands, trying to portray ourselves as the sole defenders of the Constitution at the expense of the lower house? How would you feel if language unbecoming of senators of the Republic is being employed to malign our leader, our speaker? How would you feel if we continuously hear rhetoric that belittles us as representatives? And you say we are co-equals? You say one thing, you do another. Well, we feel intensely. Just take it as it is. And it is also an invitation for you to engage in some sort of introspection. Ganun naman talaga ang sekreto sa magandang pagsasamahan eh. Minsan magpapakumbaba tayo, sabihin natin, oh, kahit sa isang marriage, di ba? Yung husband, bakit kaya ganun si Mrs.? O bakit ganun si Mr.? Bakit ganun ang aking partner? Hindi lang yung iniisip mo, ay nako, wala kang I'm sorry. Are we not allowed to feel this way? We feel intensely. Ganito kami magtrabaho sa House of Representatives. Intense kami. We mean business. We want to work. We work with a sense of urgency. At syempre na-offer staten kami. Pero sisingitan mo pa nung ganong mga antics na may press con, may prayer rally, parang may religious crusade. Para kaming mga kampo ni Satanas. Walang ganunan. Magkaka-partners tayo. Hindi naman po pwede yung magpapapogi points kayo at our expense. Walang ganunan. Because nagkakaisa naman tayo sa ating layunin, which is to serve the Filipinos. Maaari tayong na different ways, but we should respect one another. Kahit nga dito sa RBH 6, nagkakaisa tayo. Pero magkaalaman na tayo. Sabi nga ng challenge ni Majority Manix kaalaman na tayo. Be brave enough and courageous enough to say, are you or are you not in favor of amending the economic provisions? Habang ang ating buong bansa ay nag-iintay for more investors, alam nyo, itong empathy rin to, mapapractice nyo rin. It's really common sense. Marami kasi ako narinig ng mga, mga fathers of the Constitution. I respect them. But maybe they're kind of out of touch na rin siguro. And they should listen maybe to the investors. Ikaw nga naman, place yourselves in the position of our investors. Ba't ka nga naman mag-i-invest ng daang-daang milyon, even billion, sa isang bansa, tapos maximum mo lang 40% ng shares? Why would you even do that? When I can go to other countries in the same region na allow me to own my companies. Hindi naman binibenta natin ang ating bansa. Just something to ponder on. It's just so basic. Kasi nanginayang ko, if we have this golden opportunity, you started the ball rolling and we applaud it. In fact, naniniwala kami, kaya nyo yan. Pero for you to want to sit on it, in October, you know for a fact that it's just actually killing the bill already. Sawang-sawa na kami dyan sa kill the bill na yan. Pati nga ako, yung aking socio equality bill, 24 years old na. At pati yung mga LGUs, meron na sila kanilang mga anti-discrimination ordinances. Hindi pa natin mapasa sa national level, but segue lang po yun, ano po. But to show you the kind of mentality and attitude that we do not want to adopt here in Congress. Sabi namin, work with a sense of urgency because the country expects it from us. Thank you.
Gusto ko lang susugan yung kay Congressman Bong at kay Geraldine. Alam, baka hindi natin alam to, no? Yung salary pay grade ng presidente is 33. Vice President is 32. Ang Chief Justice is 32. Ang Speaker of the House is 32. Ang Senate President is 32. Ang Senate Members of Senate is 31. At ang salary pay grade ng Congressman is 31. So, ibig sabihin, hindi natin pwedeng i-compara doon. Sa salary grade natin i-compara, pareho lang tayo. Kaya walang lower house at saka upper house sa konstitusyon. Majo, if you can add something?
Ano?
Ang hugot.
Ang masasabi ko lang po is sana pag-usapan po ninyo sa Senado ang bill na ito. Hindi po kami rito nagbasta-bastang ginawa, inaprubahan dito ng 2 linggo. Hindi po. Tulad ng sinasabi ko, member na po ako ng 18th Congress. Umiikot po kami sa buong probinsya, cities at iba-iba para magkaroon ng consultative meeting sa lahat ng mga tao doon sa mga area na yun na nabanggit ko. Kaya please, iisa lang po ang ating hangarin. Ang hangarin po natin, ayusin ang ating bansa. Pagkaisahin, patatagin, palakasin at suportahan ang bagong Pilipinas ng gustong mangyari ng ating Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Yun lang po. Ang hangarin ng Senado ay ayusin, palakasin ang ating bansa. Ang hangarin po ng mga congressman, congresswoman ay palakasin, paluguin, iangat ang ating bansa. Iisa po ang ating interest. May common interest po tayo. Ang common interest po natin ay para sa ating bayan. Magsama-sama tayo. Kung yan po nga RH number 6 na yan ay pinakinggan nyo na dati, magkakaroon pa ba ng People's Initiative? Wala na. Kasi hindi nyo kasi tiningnan eh. Hindi nyo inupuan. Please, natutuwa po kami dahil binuksan nyo na sa Senado. Sana naman, pakinggan nyo ang aming hinaing. Mabilisin nyo nang sa ganon, tulad ng ating mga agam-agam, baka umabot pa to ng October, mababaliwala na naman po. Tama po ang sinasabi ni majority namin. Kami po 3 taon lamang, samantalang kayo po ay 6 na taon, may re-election pa kayo ng another 6, 12 taon po kayo nakaupo. Kami 3 taon lang nakakaupo. Pagkatapos ng 3 taon, pag hindi yan pumasa, i-refile na naman namin. Panibagong trabaho, hindi ba kayo naaawa na pabalik-balik na lang yan? Ang tagal na kung sino-sinong presidente na ang nagsubok niyan para pakialaman at baguhin ang 1987 Constitution natin. Ngayon, buti nga ngayon, walang presidenteng nakikialam. Pero talagang tao ang nakikialam para mabago na ang ating saligang batas.
Well, ako may panawagan lang po sa aking mga kaibigan sa Senado, no? Mga senador, kung pwede po, tigilan na ang itong personal na paninira sa aming speaker. Ayaw na po naming lumalim ito. Ayaw na po naming lumalim itong usaping ito. Tigilan nyo na po ang paninira, ang mga pangit pakinggan na hindi pwedeng gayahin ng susunod na henerasyon. Kaya sa inyong lahat, magtrabaho po tayo ng maayos. Marami po tayong problema. At I've said, ayaw na po naming lumalim ito. Tigilan nyo na po ang paninira sa aming speaker. Salamat po.
Follow up lang po sana doon sa kanina, no, regarding sabi nyo nga po, interparliamentary courtesy doon sa resolution, pero ina-abolish na yung Senado. Courtesy ba yung pinapatay na ang Senado? I think you're person of PI.
Anong rason niya na ina-abolish namin yung Senado?
I think you're referring to the PI.
PI, where's the PI? Where's the PI? We're talking of RBH number 6. PI is stock from the COMELEC. Anong inaabolish? As I have said and we have said, we are not on our agenda na ina-abolish po namin ang Senado. Ako, actually, RBH number 1, 3 Congress, political ang pinafile ko. Pero wala akong sinasabi na ina-abolish ko ang senador. Actually nga, maganda pa nga yung sitwasyon nila. Wala pong ganun, ma'am.
At dagdagan ko lang, Mama. Ang mga pumirma po sa resolution number 6 sa House Bill namin ay may mga kamag-anak sa Senado. Papayag ba silang tanggalin yung kanilang mga kamag-anak sa Senado? Para dyan lamang? Siguro naman hindi. Kaya siguro hindi po totoo yun na para tanggalin namin ang mga senador sa sinusulong natin ito. Kaya ilan ba ang mga may kamag-anak dito sa Kongreso? 7. Kaya hindi po. Negative po yung mga sinasabi.
Good afternoon po. Both senators and congressmen are appealing for unity amidst these issues. Pero po nagpapatuloy pa rin po yung pagpapalitan at pananalita po ng mga miyembro ng dalawang kapulungan ng Kongreso sa isa't isa. Some members or some critics of the PBBM administration say this is the new face of bagong Pilipinas. Ang bagayan sa pagitan po ng Senado at Kamara. How do you react to this?
Well, ito lang masasabi namin. We didn't start it. And we have no intention of prolonging this. If you take affront by our mere expression of our sincere sentiments, I think we should be mature enough. At sabi ko nga, this is an opportunity for some sort of introspection. Any kind of sincerity on both sides should be appreciated. Kasi nga, ang uusap ng tapat, nagsasama ng maluwag. At we are fully aware that this is an irregular situation. And this is detrimental to our country. I'm so sorry, but it's happening. But we're not taking active steps to prolong it. In fact, we're just reacting to things that have been initiated by the Senate. So I don't want to point fingers at anyone, and really that's kind of an immature attitude. We want to be constructive, and we look forward to the time when we will set aside all of these differences. But for that to happen, friendly reminder for respect, empathy, humility, and of course, above all, it is not just about the show of power, what we can do, what the system allows us to do, but rather a sense of loyalty to the country and doing the things that have to be done. So yun po ang aming pananawagan.
Senator Jinggoy Estrada proposed to have a meeting between the Senate President and the Speaker of the
Ay,
House.
magandang idea yan, Majority Manix.
Alam mo, ako pwede ko sagutin yan kasi actually not only end times to meet the leader of both houses. Parang budo lang nangyayari di ba? Kaya ilang beses na po yan.
So do you think the President should be jailed?
I think it's very clear the House is open to any form of dialogue. We are all civilized and educated people, and we share so many common goals. So rather than focus on our differences, we would like to focus on the things that bind us together, and this is love of our country, and of course, the recognition of the need to amend the economic provisions of the Constitution. Sabi nga namin, there is nothing intrinsically wrong about amending the Constitution. If it were intrinsically wrong, the Constitution itself would not have provided means for this to happen. 3 formulas pa nga ang pinasuggest ng Constitution na nakastipulate sa Constitution. So really, at this point in time, there is no need to demonize constitutional reform. We should be courageous and mature enough to recognize this and set aside all personal considerations, no? Huwag na natin pairalin yung mga pride at pataasan ng ihi. At tabi na yan yung mga, I don't know, kung may mga hidden agenda, tabi na yan. Basta, focus na po tayo sa trabaho at umaasa po kami sa mababang kapulungan na merong kakayahan ng ating mga senador. At naniniwala rin po kami sa sinseridad ni SP Mig Subiri. No? Sinabi niya, kaya namin yan by Holy Week. If there is a will, there is a way.
No, knowing Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, Speaker would always be that person who will extend that hand of friendship. No doubt. Kung gusto ng Senado, ng Senate President to meet with the Speaker of the House, the Speaker would always be willing. In fact, I know this for a fact, the Speaker, for a couple of times, exerted effort to update with our counterparts in the Senate. Hindi po, it's known to everyone here in the House na we would always want to follow up ano namang nangyayari. Because if we backtrack, even last year, we would always follow up with the Senate counterparts. Ano naman nangyari sa final namin na RBH 6? We filed that with 302 authors last March, last year. Walang nangyari. So, kung ang pag-uusapan natin na ay makikipagpulong ba yung ang House of Representatives with the Senate, but why not? Of course. But let's treat everything with a sense of urgency kasi we're running against time. As I said again, lahat po nagsasabi on the second half of any administration, patay na po yung proposal. So, palapit na po yung October. Anong mangyayari? Mamamatay na rin ba yung proposal in the Senate? As just what happened in the past, that all of these proposals to update the Constitution na mamatay sa Senado. Sana po in this administration, hindi po yun mangyari.
First off, I'd like to ask na po, kasi ang dami po, well, yung sinabi niyo po SDS nung Friday na wala daw pong nangyayaring on-the-ground signature campaign dun sa isang statement niyo. Tinanong po kayo ni Senator Gatchalian sa isang reply sa aking tweet, sinabi, that's not what I heard from the ground. Ano po yung inyong comment doon sa sinabi ni Senator Gatchalian na hindi raw, na parang pinapamukha po kayo parang sinungaling sa statement niyo po last Friday?
Alam mo, Senator Gatchalian?
Yes po.
Senator Gatchalian, wala po ako. Nasa abroad po ako ng holiday from December 25 to January 13. Wala po ako nakitang pumirma. So, pagdating ko, pinag-uusapan na po yung PI na yan. Kaya, hindi ko po alam kung paano nangyari yung sinasabi niya.
Second question po from my end. Kasi po, sinasabi po ng ilang mga senators po na Senator Escudero said na the President should rein in House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez from pushing the People's Initiative. While sinabi rin po ni Senator Angara na bakit hindi na lang ituloy yung plebiscite ng PI or ng plebiscite ng Charter sa 2025 isabay daw sa election. What are your thoughts about this?
Plebiscite ng?
Plebiscite daw po nung
Plebiscite sa election ng local at national.
Isabay daw po ito sa 2025 elections daw po, sabi ni Senator Angara.
Mapupulitika ka nga eh. Ngayon nga, napupulitika na eh.
We don't
Diba?
want that.
So, if ako, ito yung pananaw ko dyan. We would like our voters, the voters of this country, decide on a matter na yun lang ang pag-iisipan nila. Yes or no lang naman yung tanong doon. Ayaw natin ihalo yan sa isang eleksyon na, you have candidates for national position, candidates in local election, and you have different groups trying to get elected. Siyempre, mapupolitika eh. We would like to separate it. Separate that very important issue, present it to our voters without any distraction of any body running in an election. Kasi magugulo eh. So mas maganda, ito yung proposal namin, i-present po natin itong amendments. Anong mga updates to the 37-year-old Constitution. In a referendum, wala nang ibang iniisip ang tao. Yun lang. Focus, baka sasabihin na naman nila, mali na. May magsasabi, baka hindi na naman, baka may nangloloko na naman sa to. So, we'll do one single thing by presenting it to our people in a referendum with only one topic. Yun lang ang pag-isipan ng botante, hindi yung nag-iisip pa siya sino yung mayor niya, sino yung councilor niya, nagbabakbakan doon sa municipality nila. Ang daming iisipin ng tao. So mas maganda to really get that voice of the people in a referendum. Let's separate it. Let's separate the topic. Huwag natin ihalo in a regular midterm election. Para at least mas maganda, di ba? Before the referendum, those in favor of amending the economic provisions and those against in amending the economic provisions can have a healthy debate. Mapag-usapan. No? Actually, ako nga ngayon, masaya ako. At least napag-usapan na ngayon. Maski sabi nung iba, may bangay. At least we are now starting to have that discussion which we never had in the past. Namatay lang po. 37 years. Going back, nasaan na? Nahuli na po tayo sa ating mga Southeast Asian countries, sa mga Asian countries. So at least, this seemingly heated debate and argument between the House of Representatives and the Senate is now bringing that point of discussion na kailangan pag-usapan talaga. Hindi naman pwede patulogin, mamamatay na naman dun sa Senado. At least we're very happy na at least napag-usapan. Diba? Medyo, ang sabi nga niba, medyo mainit, pero at least napag-usapan man lang para at yung taong bayan ngayon nag-iisip, ano ba yung pinag-uusapan nilang economic provision? Diba? Ano ba yung pinag-uusapan? Ano ba yung pinag-aawayan nilang economic provision? At least ngayon, sa mga tao na may recall na sila, uy, economic provision, sige, pakinggan nga natin. Ano yung maganda o pangit ba dyan sa mga economic provision na sabi niya, nag-aaway-aaway na daw yung mga senador at congress. But let's bring it to discussion. Kasi we have been waiting for this 37 years. At least ngayon, pinag-uusapan na. In fact, my challenge is, dito sa House, klaro po ang boto namin. We have already been transparent of stating our position. Sino-sinong mga congressman ang pabor to amend the economic provision of the 1987 Constitution. Ngayon, ang tanong, doon din sa Senate, they should also come out in the open. Sino-sino sa 24 senators ang pabor to amend the economic provision at sino-sino yung mga kontra to amend the economic provision of the 37-year-old Constitution.
On the question po of reining in the Speaker, sabi po ni Senator Escudero, sabi daw po niya the President should rein in the Speaker.
Wala namang
Ano yun?
alam mo, maybe, dito kasi sa House, not only one person controls everybody. We are 300 plus different political blocks, and with regards to PI, hindi yung mga congressman eh. These are petitioners of different organizations na nagsasalita rin eh. How can we rein in on other people's organization from talking? In fact, we are happy. Alam mo, masaya kami pag pinag-uusapan. At, the discussion about amending the economic provision is being deliberated. Let's bring it to a higher level instead of trying to say na may kasalanan dyan itong tao. Let's bring it. Let's come up in the open. Those who are in favor, those who are against, present it to the Filipino people in a separate referendum, separate from the midterm election, and let the people decide. Ang tao po, ang final decision in everything that we'll be doing here.
I don't think it is the duty of the President to rein in the House Speaker. We are independent branches of government. The Speaker is not a puppet of the President. Yun lang.
Ako, pwede? Kahapon kasi lahat halos lumapit yung mga congressmen sa akin kasi tinatanong nila yung mga local bills nila. So, I'm trying to calling again the attention of our dear senators. Kung pwede po, kanino naka-refer yung mga local bills namin, paki-inform lang po yung bawat mambabatas para may report po namin sa ating mga kababayan. Kasi maraming batas na kailangan dapat dinggin na hindi pa po na-approve. That's why we are going to return again next Congress. We will apply Section 28. So kung pwede po, nananawagan po ako, kung ilan po yung mga House bills o local bills na nasa sa inyo, kung pwede po sulatan niyo po kami kung ano po problema, kung ano ang status, para alam po namin ang ibabalita sa aming mga constituents. Salamat po.